There are voids on our maps, blank spaces guarded by soldiers, fences, and a silence so deep it screams. These are the planet's forbidden zones, places you were never meant to see. Their skies are patrolled, their secrets are buried under layers of concrete and classification, and their very existence is a question mark. What is happening behind these closed gates? What truths are so dangerous that governments would build fortresses to contain them? Are they protecting us from something inside, or are they protecting something inside from us? The line is a razor's edge, and the truth is always more terrifying than you can imagine. These aren't just places you can't visit. These are places where curiosity is a fatal mistake. From radioactive ghost towns haunted by human error, to islands that answer visitors with violence, and from military bases that officially don't exist, to vaults holding the keys to our annihilation or our survival. So, what are they hiding? Today, we are breaking the seals on the 10 most forbidden zones on Earth. We are peeling back the lies, digging through classified history, and exposing the bone-chilling truths they pray you never discover. Prepare yourself. Ilha de Queimada Grande, Brazil. At number 10 is a corner of the world so lethal, the Brazilian government has made setting foot there a federal crime. It's a lush, beautiful island off the coast of Sao Paulo, an image of paradise that hides a biological horror. The world knows it as Ilha de Queimada Grande, but has a more fitting name, Snake Island. The reason it's forbidden isn't a state secret. It's a natural fact born from a nightmare. This island is the one and only home of the golden lancehead pit viper, and its venom is the stuff of legends. We aren't talking about a few snakes. Local tales whisper 5 snakes for every square meter. Even science confesses a population is so dense that you can't walk without meeting one. A single bite delivers a venom that can kill a human in less than an hour. It's a potent hemotoxin that liquefies the flesh around the wound, triggering kidney failure, brain hemorrhaging, and unimaginable pain. It is a gruesome and terrifyingly fast way to die. The island's origin is a twisted lesson in evolution. Thousands of years ago, rising sea levels isolated a population of snakes. Their ground-level predators vanished, and their numbers exploded, but so did their food source. The only snakes to survive were the ones that learned to hunt birds. This required a venom so brutally fast-acting it could kill its prey midair, before it could fly away. The result is a golden lancehead, a serpent with a poison 5 times stronger than its mainland relatives. The government ban is simple. It's to stop you from dying a horrific death. Only the Brazilian Navy and a few hand-picked scientists in full-body protective gear are ever allowed to land. But here is the secret. The island's terrifying reputation has made it a target. The same venom that can kill you is now a priceless medical treasure, attracting a different kind of predator, biopirates. Scientists believe its unique compounds could revolutionize treatments for heart disease. This has created a deadly black market. Poachers risk an agonizing death to capture these snakes, selling them to collectors and underground labs for tens of thousands of dollars. So while the official story is that the island is closed to protect people from the snakes, the unspoken secret is that it's also closed to protect the snakes from people. It is a fortress of death, but it's also a treasure chest, and the treasure is one of the most lethal substances on Earth. Section 9, Lascaux Cave, France. Number 9 takes us to a quiet valley in southwestern France, to a place that holds some of humanity's most profound secrets. This is the Lascaux Cave System, the Sistine Chapel of prehistory. In 1940, 4 teenagers stumbled upon it when their dog fell into a hole, revealing a gallery of art that rewrote history. Over 600 paintings, perfectly preserved from 20,000 years ago, cover the walls. They show a lost world of massive aurochs, stags, and horses, painted with a grace that silenced the modern world. This wasn't primitive scratching. It was a masterpiece. When it opened to the public in 1948, the world rushed in to see the miracle. But this is where the story turns into a horror film, and why Lascaux became forbidden. The very act of seeing the art was its death sentence. Every day, the breath of 1,200 visitors exhaled carbon dioxide that ate away at the paintings. The heat from their bodies and contaminants they carried through the cave's delicate, sealed climate into chaos. Within years, the damage was horrifying. Green and black stains of algae began to spread across the ancient walls like a disease. In 1963, facing the imminent death of a masterpiece, the French government made a heartbreaking decision. The original cave was sealed permanently. Since that day, only a few scientists can enter, for just minutes at a time, like doctors visiting a patient in intensive care. The secret of Lascaux isn't just the art. It's a desperate, silent war being waged to stop its destruction. Closing the cave didn't end the nightmare. The human intrusion had triggered a cascade of disasters. In the 2000s, a terrifying white fungus bloomed across the walls, followed by an outbreak of black mold. These were mutations born from the air conditioning systems, and even the fungicides used to fight the first infections. For decades, a small team of scientists has been locked in a microscopic battle, trying to turn back the clock, while tourists visit perfect replicas nearby. The real cave is a quarantined patient in critical condition. The secret is the ultimate irony. This place, which holds a key to our shared human story, must be forbidden to all of humanity if it is to survive. Section 8, Poveglia Island, Italy. For number 8, we travel to the Venetian Lagoon, to an island so poisoned by its past that local fishermen won't even let their nets drift near its shores. This is Poveglia, the world's most haunted island. Officially, it's closed because its buildings are unstable. But the real reason it's forbidden is soaked into the soil itself. A legacy of so much death and agony has permanently scarred the land. Poveglia's story begins with the bubonic plague. As the Black Death ravaged Venice, the city needed a place to dispose of its dead and its dying. Poveglia was chosen. It became a lazaretto, a quarantine colony. But there was no hope of recovery here. Being sent to Poveglia was a death sentence. Tens of thousands of people, sick and terrified, were dragged here and left to die. As the bodies piled up, they were thrown into colossal pits. When the pits overflowed, they were burned on giant pyres that blackened the sky. The scale of death was apocalyptic. Some estimates claim over 160,000 souls perished on this one tiny island. Locals swear the soil is now 50% human ash. Fishermen report pulling up human bones from the waters around it. The plague eventually ended, but the island's nightmare was far from over. Here's a secret that forever cursed Poveglia as a forbidden place. In 1922, a psychiatric hospital was built on the island, burying one layer of suffering under another. This was no place of healing. It was an exile for the mentally ill, and according to legend, a playground for a sadistic doctor. Stories tell of a physician who performed twisted experiments on his patients, crude lobotomies, and other atrocities conducted in the bell tower. The tale says the doctor himself was driven mad, tormented by the ghosts of the plague victims his patients claimed to see. Finally, he threw himself from the bell tower. The hospital was closed in 1968, and the island was left to rot. Today, it is a place of absolute desolation. Paranormal investigators who have snuck ashore speak of hearing disembodied screams and seeing flitting shadows. Overcome by a feeling of pure evil, they say the bell from the tower can still be heard tolling across the lagoon, even though the bell itself was removed decades ago. Poveglia is quarantined by something more powerful than law. It is an island so saturated with misery, it has been excommunicated from the world of the living. Section 7. Svalbard Global Seed Vault, Norway. Our seventh stop is deep inside the Arctic Circle on a frozen Norwegian island. Carved into a mountain is a concrete wedge, a stark, futuristic blade jutting from the snow. This is the Svalbard Global Seed Vault. And while it's not guarded by soldiers, access is so restricted it remains one of the most exclusive places on the planet. Its nickname is a Doomsday Vault, and its purpose is chillingly simple. It is humanity's last insurance policy. The vault holds copies of over 1.2 million seed varieties from every corner of the globe, a frozen library of everything we eat. The reason for its existence is a stark reminder of our fragility. The world has thousands of local gene banks, but they are vulnerable. They can be destroyed by war, by floods, by a simple power cut. When a crop variety is lost, it's an extinction no different than that of an animal. The Svalbard Vault is the ultimate backup. Its purpose was proven when the civil war in Syria made a vital seed bank in Aleppo inaccessible. Scientists were able to withdraw their seeds from Svalbard and restart their collection elsewhere. The vault's location is no accident. It's geopolitically stable, and the natural permafrost keeps the seeds frozen even if all power is lost. It is built to survive nuclear war, asteroid strikes, and the complete melting of the ice caps. But here's the secret buried deeper than the vault itself. The Svalbard vault isn't about doomsday. It's about trust. The structure was built and paid for by Norway, but Norway doesn't own a single seed inside. The secret is its ownership model. It operates like a bank's safety deposit box. The seeds remain the absolute property of the country or institution that sent them. When a nation deposits its seeds, they are sealed in a black box, and only that nation can ever request their return. This ingenious system ensures that no single country, corporation, or madman can ever control the world's food supply. It's a pact of trust, an agreement designed to protect our shared agricultural heritage from politics and greed. So while the vault is a fortress against apocalypse, its true secret isn't the concrete and steel, but the delicate web of global cooperation that holds it all together. It is a quiet promise that, even if the world falls apart, we will help each other rebuild. Section 6, Mezgri, Russia. Number 6 is a city that doesn't officially exist. Deep in Russia's Ural Mountains, at the foot of Mount Yamantau, lies the town of Mezgri. But this is no ordinary town. It's a closed city, a relic of the Soviet Union, built to serve a secret purpose, its residents living under a vow of silence. To this day, Mezgri is one of Russia's most enigmatic and heavily fortified locations. The entire region is under military control. Attempting to enter without authorization is a crime that will land you in a place far worse. The real mystery isn't the town, but what lies buried inside the mountain it serves. Since the late 1990s, U.S. satellites have watched a colossal excavation project at Mount Yamantau. This was happening during a time of economic collapse in Russia, a time when the government couldn't afford to pay its soldiers, yet was pouring billions into this mountain fortress. When the U.S. demanded answers, Russia's responses were a cascade of contradictions. It was a mine, a food bunker, a shelter for the elite. Finally, the Russian Defense Ministry gave the coldest answer of all. The practice of Ministry of Defense of Russia does not provide for informing foreign media about facilities being built in the interest of strengthening the security of Russia. This intense secrecy has led to a terrifying theory, a secret tied to a Cold War nightmare known as a dead hand. U.S. intelligence analysts fear the Yamantau complex is not just a defensive bunker. It is a key component of Russia's automated nuclear retaliation system, known as Perimeter. The Dead Hand is a doomsday machine, a system designed to launch an all-out nuclear attack even if Russia's entire leadership has been wiped out. The theory is that Mount Yamantau is its brain, a self-sustaining, deep-earth command post that can operate without any human intervention. Reports speculate it could be an underground city up to 400 square miles in size, buried under thousands of feet of solid quartz rock, rendering it indestructible. The terrifying secret of Mezgri may be that it isn't a place for leaders to hide from a war, but a place to guarantee one. It is a forbidden fortress built to ensure that even if the world ends, Russia gets a final, catastrophic word. We are only halfway through our descent into the world's most forbidden places, and the secrets are getting darker. From doomsday machines to islands of the dead, these zones blur the line between reality and nightmare. Before we breach the top 5, which location so far has unsettled you the most? Let us know in the comments. And if you have the nerve to continue this journey, hit that like button and subscribe, because what lies ahead is even more disturbing. Now, let's get back to it. Section 5, Vatican Apostolic Archive. At number 5, we journey into the heart of the world's smallest country, Vatican City, to a place that has been the beating heart of conspiracy theories for centuries, the Vatican Apostolic Archive. Until 2019, its official name was the Vatican Secret Archives, and a simple name change has done nothing to quell the mystery. This is no library. It is the Pope's personal, private vault, containing the state papers, correspondence, and secrets of the Catholic Church. Stretching back over a millennium, it is estimated to contain 53 miles of shelving, holding documents dating to the 8th century. It is one of the most significant and inaccessible historical collections on the planet. For centuries, The archives were completely sealed. It wasn't until 1881 that they were opened outside scholars, but getting in today remains a near impossible task. Access is a privilege granted only to vetted academics, and they aren't allowed to browse. You must request a specific document, sight unseen. Scholars are permitted only a few documents per day and are forbidden from entering the main archive stacks. The suffocating level of control has led to wild speculation. What could be so important that it needs to be hidden on 53 miles of shelves? This brings us to the ultimate secret. What is the Vatican truly hiding? Conspiracy theories range from evidence of alien contact to lost gospels that would shatter Christianity. While that is likely fantasy, the real secrets are almost certainly more world-altering. The archives hold the complete, unedited records of the trials of Galileo Galilei and the Knights Templar. They hold the papal bull that excommunicated Martin Luther, sparking the Protestant Reformation. They contain personal letters from Michelangelo and a final, desperate plea from Mary, Queen of Scots, just before her execution. The great secret of the Vatican archives isn't a single document. It is the power of 1,000 years of unfiltered truth. It is the raw, behind-the-scenes story of the Church's role in global politics, its internal wars, and its influence over billions of souls. The documents aren't forbidden to hide one specific truth, but to control the narrative of history itself. By controlling the past, the Vatican maintains its power over the present. Section 4, Pine Gap, Australia. Number 4 takes us to the dead, red heart of the Australian outback. Far from anywhere near the town of Alice Springs sit a bizarre complex of white buildings and huge, domed structures that look like giant golf balls. This is a joint defense facility, Pine Gap, one of the most secretive and powerful intelligence bases on the planet. Officially, it's a joint U.S.-Australian satellite research facility. That description is a deliberate lie. The airspace above is forbidden. The grounds are patrolled by armed guards. Locals simply call it Australia's Area 51. Pine Gap was born from a secret 1966 treaty. Its location is a stroke of strategic genius. Deep in the southern hemisphere, it's perfectly positioned to control spy satellites over the entire eastern half of the planet, from China to Russia to the Middle East. Its remote location also makes it almost impossible for adversaries to eavesdrop on its operations. Run by shadowy agencies like the CIA and NSA, its original Cold War mission of tracking Soviet missiles has evolved. It is now a primary nerve center for America's global surveillance apparatus, a giant vacuum cleaner sucking up electronic signals from across the world. But here is the base's darkest and most chilling secret: its direct role in modern warfare. This isn't just a listening post. It's an active participant in targeted killings. Documents leaked by Edward Snowden confirm the world's worst fears. Pine Gap is critical to America's drone assassination program. The facility intercepts signals from cell phones and radios to pinpoint the exact location of individuals on the ground. This geolocation data is then fed to drone operators, providing the coordinates for strikes in countries like Pakistan and Yemen. This transforms Pine Gap from a passive observer into a remote executioner, making Australia a complicit partner in legally and morally questionable warfare. The secret of Pine Gap is that it is a cold, calculating brain of a new form of remote-controlled war. Hidden in the quiet desert is a facility that can see and hear across the globe, marking human targets for death from thousands of miles away. Section 3, North Sentinel Island, India. At number 3 is a place forbidden not by governments, but by the sheer, violent will of its inhabitants. We're going to North Sentinel Island, a remote piece of land in India's Bay of Bengal. This island is home to the Sentinelese, one of the last uncontacted tribes in existence. They have lived in total isolation for an estimated tens of thousands of years. The Indian government enforces a strict 5 nautical mile exclusion zone around it, not just to protect outsiders from the tribe's famous hostility, but to protect the tribe from us. The Sentinelese have made their intentions violently clear for centuries. They are a ghost, a tribe of hunter-gatherers living a prehistoric existence. Any attempt at contact is met with a volley of arrows. After the 2004 tsunami, an Indian Coast Guard helicopter flew over to check for survivors. It was met by a warrior on the beach who fired an arrow at the machine. In 2006, 2 fishermen whose boat accidentally drifted ashore were killed. In 2018, an American missionary, John Allen Chow, illegally landed on the island to preach Christianity. The Sentinelese killed him. This is not mindless aggression. It's a desperate and unyielding defense of their world. The most critical secret of North Sentinel Island is biological. Their long isolation means the Sentinelese have no immunity to our most common diseases. A simple cold could trigger a plague that would annihilate their entire population. Contact is genocide. The Indian government's ban is an attempt to prevent this. But the deeper, more profound secret is that we know absolutely nothing about them. We don't know their name for themselves, their language, their beliefs, or how they perceive reality. They are a living portal to a human past that has vanished from the rest of the planet. Their violent isolation is the only thing preserving this fragile connection. The forbidden nature of their island is a shield. They are guarding the last whispers of a prehistoric culture, and the secret they protect is their own existence. The price of learning that secret would be its immediate and irreversible destruction. Section 2, Chernobyl Exclusion Zone, Ukraine. Our runner-up is a name that has become a synonym for man-made hell. Chernobyl. On April 26, 1986, Reactor 4 of the Chernobyl nuclear power plant exploded, unleashing the worst nuclear disaster in human history. A cloud of radioactive poison drifted across Europe. In the aftermath, the Soviet Union created the exclusion zone, a 30-kilometer ring around the plant that was forcibly evacuated and sealed off from the world. It remains one of the most radioactive places on Earth. Overnight, the area became a modern Pompeii. The city of Pripyat, once home to 50,000 people, was abandoned in hours. Today, it is a terrifying monument to the disaster. Schools are littered with dolls and gas masks. A rusted-out Ferris wheel creaks in the wind, and apartments remain frozen in time. The zone is a paradox of death and life. As buildings crumble, nature has returned with a vengeance. Wolves and bears stalk the empty streets. But this is a poison paradise. The plants, the soil, the water, and the animals are all saturated with radiation. The nearby red forest, where pine trees absorbed a lethal dose of radiation, turned rust red and died, their radioactive corpses bulldozed into trenches like plague victims. But the zone's most terrifying secret isn't what was left behind, but what is still there, ticking like a nuclear time bomb. The true heart of the disaster still festers beneath the crumbling sarcophagus that was hastily built over the ruins of Reactor 4. Trapped inside this tomb is an estimated 200 tons of corium, a radioactive lava formed when the nuclear fuel melted to the reactor floor. This substance remains one of the most dangerous materials on the planet. The original sarcophagus was decaying, threatening to collapse and release a new cloud of radioactive dust. In 2016, a colossal steel arch, the new safe confinement, was slid over the entire structure to entomb it for another 100 years. But this is not a solution. The secret is that the real work has just begun. Hidden from view, remote control robots are now engaged in a slow, terrifyingly dangerous mission to dismantle the original unstable structure and, one day, clean up the molten core. The radiation is too high for humans. The Chernobyl disaster is not over. It is an ongoing crisis. The zone is forbidden not just to protect us from its poison, but to hide a fragile, desperate operation to contain a monster of our own making, a monster that will remain deadly for thousands of years. Section 1, Area 51, USA. And now, we have arrived at number 1, the most infamous forbidden place on Earth. The global epicenter of conspiracy and the holy grail for anyone who's ever looked to the skies and wondered. We are talking about Area 51. Hidden deep in the Nevada desert, this top-secret U.S. Air Force base at Groom Lake is a black site in every sense of the word. Its very existence was denied by the U.S. government until 2013. The perimeter is a fortress of warning signs, motion detectors, and patrols of heavily armed, unidentified guards known only as camo dudes. The airspace above it is the most restricted in the world. Get caught, and you disappear. For decades, this absolute secrecy has fueled a global obsession. Area 51 is the alleged home of crashed alien spacecraft, of reverse-engineered UFOs, of extraterrestrial bodies stored on ice. The legend went supernova in 1989, when a man named Bob Lazar, claimed he worked on alien propulsion systems at a facility near the base, cementing Area 51's place in modern mythology. For years, the government's official explanation for the strange light seen in the sky was simple. You are misidentifying secret aircraft. And this is where we find the real secret, a truth that is, in its own way, more shocking than the fiction. Area 51 is, and always has been, the place where spies are born. It is the bleeding-edge testing ground for the most advanced and secret aircraft in human history. The base was created by the CIA in 1955 to develop the U-2 spy plane. The U-2 flew at such unprecedented altitudes that its silver wings, catching the sun, were responsible for the first wave of UFO sightings. After the U-2 came a dynasty of black projects. This is where the A-12 Oxcart, the forerunner to the State Route 71 Blackbird, the fastest air-breathing jet ever built, was developed in total secrecy. This is where the F-117 Nighthawk stealth fighter, a plane that was an operational secret for years, first took flight. The ultimate secret of Area 51 isn't that it hides alien technology. It's that it hides human technology so far beyond our understanding that it might as well be alien. The facility is a factory for the future of war. The UFO conspiracies, whether intentionally encouraged or not, became the perfect cover story. While the world looks to the skies for little green men, the real work of creating hypersonic weapons, next-generation drones, and unimaginable new forms of stealth technology continues behind the curtain. The secret flying over Area 51 today will define the battlefield and the world of tomorrow. What do you think? Are there other forbidden zones with secrets so dark we miss them? Let us know in the comments below. And tell us, if you could break the law for one day, which of these places would you dare to enter? If you survive this journey into the unknown, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and activate the notification bell. You won't want to miss where we go next. Thanks for watching.